Walk into any grocery store in America. You'll see bright lights, colorful packaging, and aisles stacked with thousands of choices: cereal, snacks, frozen dinners, drinks, oils, condiments, candy, meats, 40,000 products. But what if I told you a secret? A secret hiding in plain sight. Most of what you see, almost everything, is owned by just 10 corporations. 10 invisible giants controlling nearly the entire food supply of 330 million people. You don't choose what you eat. You choose which corporation feeds you. This is not a story about farming. It's a story about takeover. A quiet, methodical corporate conquest, so complete, so hidden, that you didn't even notice it happening. This is money unmasked. And tonight, we expose the machine behind your food. It began after World War II, a time when America, desperate to rebuild, industrialized everything, including farming. Tractors replaced hands. Chemicals replaced soil. Efficiency replaced tradition. The small family farm, once the backbone of American life, began to die. In 1900, America had 6 million farms. Today, barely 2 million. And half the farmland is owned by people over 60 years old, soon to be transferred, not to families, but to corporations, hedge funds, and billionaires. This wasn't an accident. It was a business strategy. Because corporations realized something powerful. If you control food, you control people. If you control land, you control the future. And so they bought, and bought, and bought. Farms became factory lines. Food became a product. And humans became customers, locked into a system they never signed up for. The illusion of variety collapses the moment you learn who owns what. Look at the shelves. You see hundreds of brands, but behind them are the same puppeteers. Nestle, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Kellogg's, General Mills, Mars, Unilever, Kraft Heinz, Tyson, Associated British Foods. 10 corporations controlling 80% of cereal, 60% of meat, 70% of beverages, 80% of snacks, almost every major household brand you know. You feel like you're choosing for your family. But you're not. You're choosing from the menus of empires. And every choice leads to the same place, the same bank accounts. This is not capitalism. This is consolidation. The slow suffocation of independence. To truly control food, you must go deeper. Not to the farm, but to the seed. For thousands of years, farmers saved seeds. It was culture. It was survival. It was life. Then came Monsanto. Then DuPont. Then Syngenta. Corporations began patenting seeds like software, turning the building blocks of life into intellectual property. Today, 4 companies control over 60% of the global seed market. Farmers are legally forbidden from saving seeds from patented plants, and if pollen from those plants blows into their fields, lawsuits. Monsanto sued 147 farmers between 1997 and 2010. They won every single case. The message was clear. These seeds belong to us. Your farm belongs to us. Your future belongs to us. No farmer on earth truly owns their harvest anymore. And most consumers don't even know this happened. While you were working your job, paying rent, trying to survive, corporations were quietly buying the ground beneath your feet. Bill Gates is now the largest private farmland owner in the United States. Foreign investors own over 40 million acres. Investment firms treat farmland like real estate, a safe, inflation-proof asset. Why? Because land isn't just dirt. It's water. It's food. It's security. It's control. The same companies buying houses are now buying farms. The same hedge funds inflating rent are inflating food. And farmers? Many now lease land from corporate landlords who dictate prices, quotas, and methods. The myth of the independent farmer is dying. replaced by a system where the true owners never touch a field. Look at the meat aisle. Chicken, beef, pork, dozens of brands, dozens of labels. But nearly all of it is controlled by just 3 companies: Tyson, JBS, Cargill. They don't just process meat, they control the supply chain. Hatcheries, feed mills, slaughterhouses, distribution, pricing, farmers' contracts. Farmers sign tournament agreements, a system where they compete against each other for pay, leaving many trapped in debt, unable to escape the corporate machine. And when these companies rig prices, as they were caught doing multiple times, your grocery bill rises. And theirs? Their profits rise even faster. Even organic and free-range labels are controlled by corporate definitions. Most free-range chickens spend their lives in massive barns with a single small door leading to a tiny patch of dirt that they rarely use. It's not a farm, it's a factory, and you're the customer who doesn't realize the product has changed. Healthy soil produces healthy food, but corporate farming doesn't want healthy soil, it wants predictable yield. So it replaces nature with chemicals, pesticides, herbicides, synthetic fertilizers. Roundup, dicamba, atrazine, a cocktail sprayed onto millions of acres. The earth becomes dependent. The crops become dependent. The farmers become dependent. And the soil? It degrades. Over the last 70 years, U.S. soils have lost 30 to 60% of their nutrients. Your grandparents' vegetables were more nutritious than yours. Food is slowly becoming hollow. But to corporations, that's good business. Less nourishment, more consumption, more sales, more chronic disease, more pharma profits. The dishonesty is breathtaking. You think you walk into a grocery store and choose what you want, but your choices are already engineered. Corporations pay stores for eye-level placement, end cap displays, center aisle dominance, impulse shelf real estate. This is called a slotting fee, a legal form of manipulation. The average shopper believes they're choosing based on preference, but their preferences have already been curated. Healthy food is intentionally hidden. Bottom shelves, obscure corners, back aisles. Processed foods, the highest profit margins, are placed in your natural line of sight. Because the grocery store is not a marketplace, it's a funnel. A system designed to turn your biology against you. Salt, sugar, fat, engineered to keep you buying. Your cravings are not personal failures. They're corporate design. The next phase isn't in farms, or factories, or grocery stores. It's digital. Delivery apps like DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub are consolidating the final step of consumption, delivery. And behind the scenes, ghost kitchens, warehouses producing multiple brands at once. You think you're ordering from a local burger place called Midnight Grill, but it's actually made in the same building as Fire Burger, Grill Dome, and Urban Wings, all owned by the same corporation. Meanwhile, big tech is investing in lab-grown meats, synthetic oils, 3D printed foods. Why? Because the future they want is simple. You don't cook. You don't shop. You don't choose. You consume what the system delivers. Controlled, packaged, predictable, profitable. This is what corporate control looks like when you zoom out. Control the seeds, own the beginning. Control the land, own the production. Control the grocery chains, own the distribution. Control the advertising, own the demand. Control the processed foods, own the health outcomes. It's not just food, it's dependency. A population that cannot feed itself, cannot free itself. And while you struggle to afford groceries, while farmers drown in debt, while soil collapses, corporations celebrate record profits. Because the more fragile the system becomes, the more trapped you are inside it. Ultra-processed foods are cheap today, but the bill arrives later. Diabetes, obesity, heart disease, chronic illness, all rising, all profitable. The food system makes you sick. The pharmaceutical system profits from your sickness. It's the greatest closed-loop business in human history. They don't need you dead, and they don't need you healthy. They need you dependent. The mask has slipped. Your food is not grown. It's manufactured. Your choices are not free. They're curated. Your health is not a priority. It's a revenue stream. 10 corporations feed the world. A handful of investors own the land. A small group of billionaires own the future. And the only thing that protects you is awareness. The factory controls the food. The machine controls the factory. And now you've seen the machine.